Blackhawks flying below radar from Jalalabad towards the sprawling compound. When one of them stalls, it's forced to land nearby, grazing a rotor on the 18-foot walls. So the SEALs switch to Plan B, and a Chinook helicopter replaces it. We've learned the actual assault was carried out by 2 elite teams of 12 SEALs each, going room to room. A firefight erupted with bin Laden's 2 trusted couriers, which woke up neighbors nearby.
I heard gunfire at around 1 a.m. It was followed by a huge blast.
The SEALs then moved to an upper floor. There, they find the man the U.S. has been after for over a decade. When bin Laden resists, the SEALs shoot. A woman with him is also shot. A SEAL reports back to base, Geronimo, EKIA, the code indicating bin Laden is dead. In all, 5 people at the compound are killed. 12 to 15 others, including women and children, are left there flex-cuffed. The SEALs take a treasure trove of hard drives and documents they find in these rooms. They also take bin Laden's body, leaving 40 minutes after touching down. By 2 a.m., the body arrives on the carrier USS Carl Vinson, where it's washed and wrapped in white sheets by a Muslim sailor, and religious remarks are read in Arabic in keeping with Islamic tradition. Then bin Laden's body is placed in a weighted bag and eased into the North Arabian Sea.
August 1998, then President Clinton orders a Tomahawk missile strike on an al-Qaeda training camp in Afghanistan in response to the bombings in Kenya and Tanzania. Bin Laden manages to escape death, having reportedly left the camps just prior to the attack. December 2001, the U.S. bombards his reported mountain hideout in the Tora Bora region of Afghanistan. Rejoice turns to rejection, and reports of bin Laden's death proved to be false. November 2002, reports surfaced that bin Laden is ravaged by kidney disease. However, a doctor who treated bin Laden in the days following 9/11 discredits these claims. September 2006, bin Laden's health once again takes front and center. Bin Laden died of typhoid in Pakistan. These claims are quickly refuted. May 1st, 2011, May Day. President Barack Obama announces to the world that a U.S. military operation in Pakistan has killed Osama bin Laden in an intense firefight. They are called the tip of the spear, the strongest, most intelligent, and most agile fighting force in the world.
They were able to hit arguably one of the most hidden and perhaps even furiously protected men on the planet. And 40 minutes later, they were gone.
They're naturally smart. They're naturally inquisitive. They have to be stubborn. They have to be determined. They have to stay focused. They're not killers, they're survivors.
While that may seem nearly impossible for us, the members of Team 6 dedicate every moment of their lives training for the type of operation that killed bin Laden.
I think every SEAL on the ground would tell you this is an operation that they have conducted thousands and maybe 10,000 times.
SEAL stands for Sea, Air, Land, as in they dominate any combat environment. In fact, Team 6 members train so rigorously, their skills are practically honed into superpowers. Some can remain underwater for 2 minutes without a single bubble. Others jump from planes in high altitudes, landing in the most dangerous situations without missing a beat.
You're climbing a ship, you're going through a building, you did the jump, you did the trek. You're almost worn out. You've done a day's work before you get there to do the deed.
But it's not just about being physically strong. It's about being mentally tough, willing yourself to engage the enemy when others would flee.
Without a doubt, they are the smartest, bravest, best, most resourceful men you could ever have the pleasure to lead.
And while we think of them as superheroes, unlike the movies, there'll be no parades. This morning, they've already gone back into the shadows without the outside world even knowing their names.
O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight. Since the attack on 9/11, Dennis Miller has been an outspoken anti-terror guy. So who better to put this week's events into perspective than the sage of Southern California, who joins us now from L.A. So Miller, I'm just going to let you go, man. You just take it where you want to go tonight. Where do you want to start?
First off, My sources tell me, and you know I have sources, they tell me the reason they won't release the photo is because bin Laden was wearing a Trump 2012 campaign button in his ShamWow. Now that's what I hear from my sources.
Do you think they should put the pictures out there?
They should be in the Factor store. It should be a mouse pad. Are you kidding me? Of course they should put the pictures out there.
Well,
you know
what about
inciting
the Muslim world against, inciting the ladies of the View against us? I mean, they'll incite them.
The Muslim world's always so mellow until we rile them up. Of course, they're easygoing over there. They don't need riled up. They're perpetually riled up. You know, I'm watching this British television special from the 70s, Billy, called The World at War. 25 hours, state-of-the-art Laurence Olivier narrative. I just finished the Burma section. In Burma, the Japanese despised the Allied troops who surrendered. They thought they were soft. Those are the ones they pulled out of line and beat to death. I think the Arab world operates under the same realm of zealotry as the Japanese soldiers did. If you really tell me that you think if we don't show this picture, guys who are otherwise predisposed to blow up us and use their children to blow us up are going to come around to the table and say, we're going to do you a square because we like you now, that's dreamland. That's Alan Combs land. That's not the real world.
All right. Now, what about the burial at sea for bin Laden?
Well, I think Al Jazeera's putting a new cartoon show on called SpongeBob SquarePants. And that's why they put him down there. I hope they didn't shave the beard. It'll make for a nice coral reef down there. But I don't think it had anything to do with ceremony. I just think I've watched Animal Planet enough to know that this is what seals do with their leftovers. They drop them to the bottom of the sea. And I hope he rots down there until Bob Ballard and Jimmy Cameron dive on him on an IMAX cam and do a PBS special about it on the RMS Satanic. Yeah, this guy, all they had to do was come near him with an eyedropper full of water, and all of a sudden he started pulling Amelia Earhart out of a hat. He was a monster, and he was a monster who cracked, and he cracked because of waterboarding. Case closed.